Hello and Happy New Year. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have had a good start to the year. We had a little bit of excitement. We were at our friend's house on New Year's weekend and we were not there. We were trying to get into their home and I didn't see a step that they have, a very shallow step, but I was admiring one of the plants that they had in their planter. And Stanley said I went down like a tree, and it was a bit of a bloody, banged up, bruised up mess. I ended up with 3 staples in my scalp, and I'm very excited that those are coming out tomorrow. But you know, I was lucky, nothing broke, you know, banged up and bruised, but my glasses didn't even break, and I didn't break anything. And at the urgent care, would you believe we were the only customers in the whole place at that moment? And I think that I need to be paying attention to where I'm going. So maybe that's a good motto for us all this year, to watch where we are going. Today's video is on literacy. And I have been noticing that my developing readers need help with decoding multisyllabic words. They are looking at the first letter of the word and just taking a guess. Sometimes they'll look at the ending, but they're not paying attention to the middle at all. And so an example is we were trying to decode detective this week, and one of them said descriptive. So he was looking at the beginning and end, but again, nothing in the middle. So I realized I need to go back and teach that skill. So what I did was I took several multisyllabic words. You can get them on Google. Just Google that and you'll get a whole bunch of words. But I took them from the book series Timmy Failure. Stephen Pastis really enjoys using multisyllabic words, so they're very rich. So I wrote them on a piece of paper and made a copy for each one in the group. And then I passed out markers and I said, we're going to practice this skill and I want to teach you the different ways to decode these words. We can look at the phonemes, you know, which are the smallest unit of sound. So in photographer, that would be faux. We could look at a grapheme, which is the smallest unit of meaning, which in this case would be photo. We could look at syllables. We could look at word families, like in eavesdrop. Eaves is a word family, like in leaves and heave. We could, I think I said syllables already. We could look at suffixes and prefixes as well. So I went over those things and I said, now let's practice and let's separate these words out. And then we would separate one and then compare how we had done it. And some of them said, oh, I did mine wrong. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, it doesn't look like yours. I divided it up differently than you. And I said, but that's not wrong, because every word we can attack in a different way. You know, when I was in school, I remember the one strategy that they taught us was sounding out. And we know that that is only one of many strategies. And it doesn't work for many, many words like, you know, who and the, that, what. So we went through about 8 words, and it was a really rich activity, and we're going to keep doing this at the beginning. It's like our warm-up. It'll be our warm-up to reading. And I always, you know, I have my reading rotations. They're a bit long, like 25 to 30-minute rotations, and I do 2 rotations a day. And I always end with our reading, and that's not with us reading out loud, but reading. You know, they're at their reading levels, so we're independently reading. I said, okay, so now we're going to put this practice to use with, you know, we're going to read. And Liam said something, I think it's the most profound thing I've heard in my room this year, one of the most profound, and he said, do you think we could use these strategies while we're reading our books? And I said, I think that is a really good idea. Let's see if we can put this to use in our reading. And so we did. We started reading, and it wasn't long when Jake said, I found one. I found a word. And so on his paper, he wrote it out, and he goes, I can do this one. And it was, look what word it was. And so I said, okay, but Jake, this word, we're going to need to be careful on how we break it up, because If we break it up with the very first syllable, we're going to end up with a word that we probably don't want to be saying in class. So let's take it all the way to assist, shall we? And we had a good chuckle about that, and he decoded that word. So they're on their way. And we're going to keep doing this. It'll be like our reading warm-up before we do our reading. And I think what we need to do is we need to take the time to teach the phonics and the decoding that our developing readers need, so that when they leave us, they will have advanced so much in their reading, and they will have some tools in their pocket, some strategies that they will be able to use for always. So thank you for being here, and I look forward to being together again next week.